All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Rich Walsh along with Chris Mueller for tonight's show. We're talking about the Steelers right now. Injury issues. 4 of the starting offensive linemen did not practice today, Chris. I think that's a big concern right now. Even Ben Roethlisberger said that today earlier when I asked him the question. I don't know how you can replace all these guys. I can see if you can replace Zach Banner with Chooks. But if you're missing David DeCastro this week, potentially Stefan Wisniewski, you're running out of guys.
Yeah, I think DeCastro is the linchpin for this in a lot of ways. And to be fair, Marquise Pouncey got a veteran day off, so that's a little bit different. But, you know, you figure that Banner to Chooks is 1-to-1A, especially with the way that Mike Tomlin portrayed it. But this puts more onus on the quarterback, I think, to try to make things happen and to make it work. And to be fair, they let him get hit a lot. I mean, as we're seeing right now, I mean, there were many plays where he got hit. So even with the full starting complement in, minus DeCastro, they were getting the quarterback touched up by a pretty mediocre defense, if not a bad one, in New York. So I think this is a major concern for them. I think right tackle is going to be okay. I think center and left tackle are going to be okay. It's all about DeCastro for me, because if he comes back and you have to work somebody in at left guard, then so be it.
All right, let's go out to the Borders and Borders hotline. We're going to go out to Penn Hills, my hometown. Don't let me down, Paul. What's up?
Hey, guys, I love the show, but 2 comments and I'll hang up. I wish you took more phone calls. And why was Big Ben playing with 1:48 left in the game?
Shaking off the rust, Paul. I didn't mind to see that.
It was a 10-point game.
Yeah, these guys got to play.
Game. It wasn't like they were up 42-0. Anything can happen. Did you see what happened in the Bears game? Like, you don't just take your quarterback out because the team is up by 2 scores and assume that everything's hunky-dory. I'm sorry. That's not even remotely a fair comparison to, like, say, if it was 49-0 and for some reason they still had all the starters in. As far as taking more phone calls, sure. Knock yourselves out. Let's take more. Let's take them all. You know, rapid fire. Let's go through them, and I'll knock them all over here.
All right, well, then we're going to do that. Let's go out to Bill and Trobe. What's up, Bill?
Hey, good evening, guys. My question's simple. So we're rooting for the Pirates to get that first-round draft choice. And then what? I mean, what happens? Do they surround the team with super players that they can win a pennant? Or, I mean, it's just going to be the same old thing. What do you guys think?
Hey, Bill, thanks a lot. Chris, you know, this is a big question of mine. I think we talked about this. What's the over-under on when they could have a winning season? I don't even think they're relatively close right now. 2024 is my best guess. They don't have any pitching, and you saw what happened this year. Maybe they got some good position players, but maybe I don't think any stars, anyone to really build around. Maybe keep Brian Hayes. He might be your biggest star. I thought Josh Bell was. Potentially he could. But they just don't have any pitching right now. They don't have any stars. I just think that they are about 4 to 5 years away from turning things around, really.
They're far away, but that doesn't mean that you still don't want to try to get the best player available in the draft. And when the best player available appears to be Kumar Rocker, who is a power pitcher, the kind of guy you figure slots into the top of a rotation, that's why you want to get him. Now, as for the second part of that, hey, I understand that feeling. What happens then if they actually get a bunch of these guys? It's completely on ownership. Bob Nutting, you know, I'm not going to say ownership and use the euphemism. It's on Bob Nutting to spend more if they are able to build a contender, a team with real talent. He promised transparency in the offseason, and I think that there needs to be a greater financial commitment to winning if and when this team looks like they have the material in terms of players to actually do so. But that day is several years off, in my opinion.
Let's go out to Altoona and Brett. What's up, Brett?
Hey, what's going on? How are you tonight?
Good, thanks for calling.
Hey, I'm sitting down here in my bar room, man. I call it Barflies. We're an all-die-hard Steelers bar down here. Okay? Do you think we are a playoff contender this year? Do you think we have it?
The Steelers?
I mean, because I didn't see none with Chase Claypool. I didn't see, you know, he looks like a rising star. Can you tell me?
Hey, thanks a lot, Brett. I appreciate the call. Yeah, he had 2 nice catches. That's for sure. I think they're definitely in the conversation, Chris. There's no question about it. And when you look at this Steelers team, they might not be the best or the second best team, maybe not even a third best team, but they're a top 5 team in the AFC for sure.
First of all, I would like to know what Brett's gargling regimen is to get that kind of voice. I'd love to have that for the radio. If it's gravel,
smoke
he
a lot.
crushes up.
You got to start smoking.
Yeah,
Chris.
I was going to say if it's sponsored by 100 cigarettes or something like that. All right, we've got to take that up. But that was, you want to talk about a guy who said he was calling from a bar or whatever and sounded like it. That was it. They are, if the defense plays anywhere near to the level it played against the Giants, and the offense looks as crisp as it did in the second half, I think the Steelers, with reasonable good health, already a kind of ridiculous thing to say, I think they are at worst the third best team in the AFC. That defense was dominant enough, and that offense looked sharp enough once they got rolling that I have to completely revise sort of my prediction for how they're going to finish out. I think they're an obvious 10 or 11 win team at least. With what we saw in the first game.
Yeah, I'm with you. Let's go out to Josh and McKees Rocks. What's up, Josh?
All right, yeah, I was just curious, man, like watching that game Monday night, man, like their zone defense, their pass defense was a little bit suspect. I mean, their defense was great, don't get me wrong, but their
Minkah didn't have a great game.
Well,
I'll say this.
You heard Tomlin.
Minkah
Thanks
didn't
a lot,
have a
Josh.
great game.
You heard Tomlin talk about they just tried to sell out. They wanted to stop Barkley, and I don't disagree with that. You got to stop that guy, so you might hang out your secondary to dry there.
Well, I mean, listen, they were up 26-10, right? And then it got to 26-16, and that's not really an indication of whether the game was actually close or not. It really wasn't once the Steelers got rolling. I thought that the secondary was a little spotty. I guess it wasn't really Minkah maybe so much as Joe Hayden allegedly might have goofed on that long touchdown pass. They've got things to button up for sure. The fumbled punt, of course, the defense rising up to save them a little bit there, and then Dupree making the play of his career to thwart that 19-yard drive. There are things to button up, to be sure, but for first impressions on the year, I thought it was really impressive from them. They were relentless, and they stopped the – isn't what you always want to do, isn't the Belichick scheme to stop the other team's best player and make them play left-handed? The Steelers did that in this game.
Yeah, no question. Let's go to Waylon in Washington. What's up, Waylon?
Hi. Hey, Rich. Hey, Chris, how you guys doing?
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, listen, I did nothing major here. It's just, like, I have friends and relatives, and they don't even watch football anymore, because of, I don't know. But I still love it. I think the game of football is fantastic. But there are, like, people that are negative about, like the national anthem or, the money that's going around. But I still like the game of football, so I still continue to watch it. But
I love watching football. I love that it's back, and I love that we saw a pretty good game, Chris. I'm hoping that the Steelers do continue this. I like what you said about they need to have that second half offense, and I think that they might. Ben talked about getting hit. That's what he needed, and it looked like he was getting into a rhythm. He's a key to this team. Chris, there's no question about it.
He's a rhythm player. He's a rhythm player. I think that showed in how sort of, kind of rickety they came out last night. But once he got going in the 2-minute drill, you saw them change. They borrowed a page from New England's playbook running all those shallow crosses, and he was very accurate with them, which is a key. Here's the other thing that's going to be a key for that offense. Do the Steelers, if James Conner is healthy, have the kind of intestinal fortitude to make the tough, not sentimental decision and let the better running back be the bell cow, which is Benny Snell? I hope they do.
Yeah, I hope they do too. Now let's go to our Tri-State Office Furniture tweet of the day, and this is from a couple Steelers. Eric Ebron quote tweeted Minkah Fitzpatrick, who said, "Thankful to be a part of this team and this city has been nothing but a blessing." And Eric Ebron responded, "Amen." Back with more of your phone calls, some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there.